we would have never conceived such a thought that Social Security would be taken from us, and it's probably been in the planning for some time. So welcome to the show. We have broke another record. My gosh, it's still growing, Ian. It's still growing. Last time we were on, you mentioned a date, and it was in April.
Yes, April 17th is the corresponding date in this cycle, in this time, with the last cycle, which was the beginning of the Civil War in America. April 17th of 2004 corresponds to the same date in 1861. So we go around these cycles, and we do repeat them, but each time at a higher level. We're approaching a civil war. Civil war. Now that doesn't mean just bombs and rockets. It also means the public rising up to understand the situation that the government or the powers that be have imposed upon them. In other words, we don't have to go out and just mow people down. We can go in with understanding this time and pull the plug. Just walk away.
Will they allow that, Ian? The proverbial they?
They will be screaming and kicking and grasping at everything they possibly can. Aren't they already doing that?
Oh, yes. But do you think it'll get bloody?
I think it will get bloody. I think that not everybody in America is tuned into this program. Not everybody is reaching out for understanding. Most people in America are going to take vengeance on people around them for the betrayal that has been perpetrated.
Oh, yes.
That's where knowledge comes in. The more you know about all of this, the better control you have of your own self.
Yes, indeed.
And less likely to get drawn in to the conflict. You see, we've got one battle going on here. During this third night, there's the same battle that's gone on every single time. And that is spirit against commerce. Beingness against money. Why was Christ killed? What was the deal?
Ian, I have... This came to me, and I don't... And by the way, I saw the movie yesterday, and wow. I saw the Jewish Pharisees, the high priest, if you will, which is a select few, by the way, folks, just to for those that are anti-Semitic or choose to try and make this anti-Semitic. In my opinion, this was a very small, select group, the high priest, who were the ultimate authority, so to speak, who I am comparing to corporate heads of today, to CEOs, to all the corrupt corporate power hounds.
The money changers.
Yes. So it was. Your question was, who killed Christ? I mean, that's a pretty big question.
Who killed Christ? The Jews didn't kill Christ. People killed Christ.
And it was partly, I think, at least the beginnings of the whole episode deal, was about the fear of losing power, wasn't it?
Exactly. And what were they losing power over? Commerce.
Influence and commerce, that's right.
Commerce. That was what could be bought and sold. Christ was put up there because he told people not to pay their taxes.
Oh, my gosh.
My goodness. New Hampshire just passed a law through the legislature banning the 16th Amendment. In other words, they abolished in New Hampshire the IRS. The reason they did that was for contract infractions of the federal government to the states. They're not meeting their bargain, so they kicked their butt out. They're also starting to print their own gold and silver coins with New Hampshire on them, and abolishing Federal Reserve notes. Federal Reserve notes are debt notes. They are a hole in your pocket rather than anything positive.
Ian, how did this not make national news and being played every 20 minutes? This is the first I've heard of this.
Because Why wouldn't the Matrix, the nature of the Matrix, have been in all the newspapers on that world? Because it's the deepest, darkest secret that it could be possibly held. And I've just blown the lid off it.
Boy, have you. My God, folks, did you freaking hear that? No, Ian, as a matter of fact, what they have done to me is they've tried to keep me occupied in Massachusetts, by the way, is one of the states, or New Hampshire, rather, is this same-sex marriage junk. Do you think that is simply deference or not deference, but deflection?
Yes, as a matter of fact, all of the consciousness cycle, of the galactic consciousness cycle, this whole thing, this whole 12.8 years, is all about consciousness dividing one side against the other. What it's all about is consciousness dividing or separating out every single thing. That is, the job of consciousness is to discern one thing from the other and another from the other. The more conscious you are, the more discerning you are. The less conscious you are, the more everything looks the same.
That's right.
So all this whole process is to raise consciousness to be more and more discerning about every single thing. So what it's going to look like on the surface is the white against black. In fact, that's how the powers are consolidating their power, is by pitting one group against the other. You understand that all wars are engineered, all wars are engines of commerce. There is no gain, there is no loss from either side other than life. What really, the people who really benefit from any war are the people who finance the war.
Can you say Halliburton?
You sure can. Now, aren't we all disgusted as we watch them build this war?
Oh, yes.
Disgusted. You know what? Our consciousness is raised to the point where we could see them doing it.
Yes. Yes.
It was all for commerce. It's all to make money.
Ian, because we're so short on time, I do want to go back to this New Hampshire thing, which has just blown my mind. I want you to repeat it again, and then, but before you repeat just exactly what went down there, how come we haven't heard Howard Dean or even Kucinich, which I have a great deal of respect for both of them, who I would have thought were nonconformist? Why haven't they been shouting it at the top of their lungs?
Because they would be hung on the cross. That's why.
Yes.
That's why. They would be crucified, if not murdered outright. Oops, their plane crashed. That's why.
Now, tell the audience again, because I want to hear it again. What happened in New Hampshire?
You go to the website.
Yeah.
And the bill is posted at the website. Go to Mayan Magic and look at the Deeper Truth files.
Deeper Truth.
Deeper Truth files. We're only putting up there what can be confirmed. What is a government document? What are legislative bills? What are the rules of commerce by which we're playing? And by the way, friends, the actual rules are good for us. The fact is, you don't know the rules, so the bank can break them anytime they want. And that's what's been going on.
Oh, I believe that. Ian, we've just got about a minute left. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the movie The Passion, other than to tie it in with...
I think everybody should go see it so they can really take a look at what Homeland Security is all about.
Oh my gosh, what a correlation. I got to go see it again. And I want to see it through these kinds of eyes, with these concepts in mind.
All of that was just, what they did to him was to control commerce.
Yes, and maintain power.
That's right. No matter how many miracles he could do, he went and stepped on their pocketbook, and that was his no-no.